Hello, hello. Um, so I was gonna say something because I noticed that whenever I talk about these things, there's quite a few people that are making fun of me and talking all sorts of weird stuff, and how it's boring, and that I'm confused, and that I'm lost, or left, right, whatever, like nonsense that they have to say. So what things I'm talking about right now is that whenever I say stuff about God, whenever I say stuff about Satan, whenever I say about these times, how we are in the actual final battle, the actual final, just a second, final test, it's the final judgment. Uh, if we go by, the terminology from holy books. So whenever people make fun of me, what is my response is only that they're extremely immature, that they're just very blind because they don't see where we're actually going and where we are. That's all I can say. So it doesn't even matter. It seems like when we talk, people like me, when we talk about these things nowadays, we're being mocked, and everything has to become personal. Oh, look at the guy, what kind of beard he has. Oh, look, his head is weird, or comments like that. It's just like it's so childish. It is absolutely childish. I do not know what is wrong with you, seriously. Those of you who think this way, who actually even pay attention to these stupid little just dumb things. It's just like I don't get it. Like, our civilization is so low on the level of intelligence, and on the level of, especially on the level of spiritual awareness, of the awareness of yourself, and your consciousness is so deep down in the freaking basement. Really, you should really, really seriously think of yourselves. What the heck are you talking about? What are you listening to? What are you hearing? And what are you even seeing? Are you seeing anything at all? Or are you completely blind? This is more major problems, because I just now got inspired because I was listening to somebody else who was basically explaining the things I explained already months ago. And he's a doctor, and so he basically came up and explained to people the dangers of. It was on independent channel, because obviously back in Serbia he would not get any time of the day on any mainstream media. So he was invited to an independent channel where he was interviewed by the host. And so I was listening to that, and he's explaining very well in what kind of serious times we are. However, what bothers me, not that it bothers me, but what basically I see is that everybody thinks that this system is unjust, think that this system is unfair, thinks, that these people in charge are psychopaths and, sociopaths and, I don't know, all sorts of monsters, right? And I'm not going to say that, whatever they are planning, whatever they are executing is not psychopathic, that it's not sociopathic. I'm not going to say that. It's not even about that. That's not even the point. The whole point is that they are sent here with a very, very specific task, and that this is your opportunity to basically wake yourself up through what they are doing. So basically, they have a very important role in our society for these times. Okay. So you can complain as much as you want that this system is unjust, that it's unfair, but what are you doing? What are you yourself doing with yourself? What are you doing with your life? What kind of life do you live? How do you live it? A lot of you, are also religious, so you think that if you go on your knees and you pray and, I don't know, once a day or twice a day even, or maybe once a week in a church, then all your problems are gone, right? And you believe in your saviors, just the belief itself will save you, and you're fine, because somebody else, somewhere else in a different dimension is working out things for you. Is that how it goes? I mean, come on, seriously. You are here in this life to do much more than what you do, okay? To do much more than just believe. Because belief is nothing. Trust me, belief is absolutely nothing. Believing something is like me convincing myself I believe I look purple. Alright, that's a very stupid thing. Just think about the belief itself. Don't care about like that I said that I was purple. You know, see, because that's how people get hung up on all sorts of stupid stuff. Just think about what I have to do in order to believe that. I have to convince myself. And every time I look at myself and I see that I'm not purple, I have to convince myself. I'm using this example because it's so bizarre and so ridiculous. So just so you understand the point of what it means to believe something. So in order for me to believe that, I have to trick myself. Do you know how hard it is for you to trick yourself into something? Because you know the truth, you can see it, and yet you are tricking yourself that what you see and that what you know about yourself is completely false. That's belief. This is what it means to believe something. So when people complain about myself talking about things and they say, oh, this sounds like Gnosticism, you know, they like to put me in some kind of box because I don't put myself in a box. They say, are you a Christian? I'm not a Christian. You know why I'm not a Christian? Because me being a Christian means belonging to a cult that lied about Jesus. So they created a cult about this guy who's apparently God, right? That's what you believe. So you're in a cult, you worship this guy, you don't know his teachings, you don't even care about the teachings, but you know he was such a cool guy that actually he was God, right? So that's a cult, you see. You don't care what he said, you don't even think, does it make sense what's written that he said? Or he doesn't, because I'll tell you in most cases he doesn't. And I'll tell you how you can test that. Live your life in an extremely disciplined way. And I mean be devoted to Creator every single day. And I don't mean every day like do a prayer for like, you know, a minute a day before you go to sleep or when you wake up or whenever you feel like it. No. Be connected all the time. Every moment of your life. Try to strive to have that connection. Always think of that. Wherever you're watching, whoever you're talking to, whatever you are saying, whatever you are hearing, try to imagine what's behind all that. And you will start seeing the connections, and you will start seeing meanings that you have never, ever even thought they were there. But they are, all the time. Everything that we do, everything in our, every minute of our life, every second, it has a meaning. You know? And be that devoted, be that, you know, people like to call me, some people, okay, not everybody. Sometimes people pop up and say, oh, you're a fanatic. Yeah, okay, cool, I'm a fanatic, great, I love it. You know why? Because I'm obsessed with the connection to God. And that's what you should be like. And you shouldn't worry about, oh, whether his name is Jesus or his name is Allah or his name is the Father or Yahweh or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. Understand it. The name does not matter. The connection itself matters. When the voice comes, it doesn't introduce itself. Hey, you know, I'm your father and I'm talking to you. See, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because if that's the case, then any demonic entity can appear and say, hey, hi, and can pretend to be a very, very good spiritual entity and say, hey, I'm your father, I'm your creator. You see, so if you're stuck with names, you can be tricked at any moment. And so, yes, we are in a spiritual war. I don't know how many times I have to explain that to anybody, but we are in an actual war. I don't know if you know what a war means. It means you're about to lose your life. Or you're going to take life. That's what war means. So I'm not sure whether you understand the meaning of it and you understand the seriousness of it. I really am not so sure anymore because I see a lot of you that are paying attention to stupid little dumbest things ever. It just doesn't make any sense. You don't make any sense. No sense whatsoever. For an intelligent being, for an intelligent creature that's supposed to be the peak of this creation, above all other creatures and above all other beings, that you're the pinnacle of the creation, you make absolutely no sense. So the more time you're going to spend thinking and noticing stupid stuff that does not matter and that it basically takes you away from the actual message, the longer you will be in this war. And you will get hurt. You will get hurt so badly you have absolutely no idea. You don't know the plans that are being in the work right now because you don't pay attention to them. You pay attention to stupid little disturbances and things that take you away from actually seeing what's happening. That's what you're paying attention to because you want to be busy. You want to be busy, you don't want to get away from that, right? Because that's too hard. That's like too much to too much to digest. It's too heavy. It's like depressing. You don't want to think about it. You don't have time. It's like, oh man, who wants to deal with this stuff? That's very time consuming. I have a family. I have this. I have that. You have a bunch of excuses, right? Why you cannot pay attention to these things? Why you cannot listen to the people that matter? Why you cannot listen to the messages that matter? See, that's how these things are. It is not about how crazy those people who want to control you are. It is about how ineffective your life is. It is about how materialistic is your view. So you guys argue with each other whose God is right, whose God is the God, right? Because, you go by what name some God is called by. That's what these things is all about. And you try to, justify with logic why you should believe in that God but not in the other God, and why you should believe in this book and not in the other book. And you're trying to find some kind of like logical explanation and some kind of scientific data that will help you determine whether God exists or not, whether, there is a creator or not, or we came from some weird random event. That's what's going on. And I have a question for you. When you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or when you have a wife or a husband, when you have your kids, when you have your mother, your father, your relatives, the people you love, do you love them with logic? Is there logic in that? Or you love them in your heart? Because that's my main question, because there's so much talk about all these words and all these meanings, but there's no action in heart. There's no love. There's no actual love. There's no actual feeling. You feel the connection. When you have the connection with the Creator, you feel that. Your whole entire being feels that. It's a very, 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 very powerful sensation through your entire body and your being. Not only the body. The body can be tricked by your being all the way inside. If you have trouble understanding where your being is located, this is the core in your belly. Right behind your belly button. That's the core of your being. That's your being. These hands and stuff are like extensions of that being. The being inside here is basically has no material eyes, has no material ears, yet it hears through these mechanical ears, mechanical eyes, it sees through the mechanical eyes, it smells through the mechanical nose, nostrils, and other passageways that go into your brain and into your, connect to your nervous system. So that's how you function. So you're not really in here in your head. That's why you're too much in your head, you see. That's the problem. And everybody's talking about this mind, just put it in your mind and, the mind is powerful. What mind are you talking about? What is mind? Can please one of you show me what mind is and where can I find it? Where is it? We know about the brain. The brain is in the head, inside the skull. Where's the mind? There's no mind, right? There's none. It's a concept, you see. It's something to delude you with. It doesn't exist. It's just a concept. Somebody came up with it, started talking about it, started writing books about it, and now it's a real thing. Wow. But it's not. It really is not. This is where you feel things. This is real. When I talk about this being, you say, oh, where is the being? How do I know it's there? You know it's there. It's the gut-wrenching feeling when you have when something's about to go wrong and you don't know what exactly it is, but you know it's there because you feel it. You feel it with your whole being, and that's where it is. See? That's why you feel things in here. That's why the deepest things that you cannot know with your eyes, and you cannot know on a scale of data and information, you don't know that. But something in you, something inside, deep inside of you, and down there by your intestines, something knows about it. And it squeezes you, and it gives you cramps, and it's like, not maybe like an actual cramps, but it's, it's giving you a really, really bad vibe. Or a really good one, you see? So, you need to start paying attention more to feeling than talking about things and being so obsessed with what something means. Is it this, or is it that, or it has that name, or this name? Because at the end of all, if you don't feel any of that stuff, it doesn't exist. It's not real. So you can talk about it as much as you want. You can give it thousands of names. You can give it thousands of meanings. But it's empty. That's the whole point. And that was my message to you, because I see that we're not getting anywhere. We really are not getting anywhere. Now we're having this division between, now this is this illusion, this spiritual illusion from people who come up and say, well, you see the system is unjust. Don't trust this one and that one, Okay, cool. And then now we do what? So now we gather in groups. It's all it takes is for people to get together, and then we're going to solve this thing. Really? What kind of people? The people that don't live godly life? The people that are not disciplined? So what, those people get together and then what? You don't understand. You don't have a battle with people. You're not in war with people. You're not in war with another human. That's easy. A human can trick another human easily. Not a big deal. Just find the information that person doesn't have, and make a plot, go behind their back, and you trick them. It's easy. You just apply your intelligence. Nothing else. Now here, in this case, you have a war with entities that you cannot see. Entities that are much, much, much smarter than your human self. Okay? They know every little fear of yours. They know the most intimate desire of yours. The darkest crap, the dirtiest things that you hide about yourself, they know those things. And that's where they target you. And that's how they're effective. That's how they can defeat you. Because you run away from those things instead of facing them. If you were willing to say, hey, go in a prayer, I challenge you, go in a prayer and say, please, Creator, show me everything, the dirtiest things about myself, the most disgusting things about myself. Please show them to me. I want to find them, I want to face them, and I want to accept them. Say that. I challenge you, I dare you. Have the courage to not be a coward and to face your dirtiest self. Because that's your darkest self. That's what the demons, that's what the entities that you do not understand and do not know, that's what they know about you. And that's what they're using against you. That's their weapon. If you face that, and if you are willing to see that about yourself, you will find the key that has been lost. And they will lose it. Because they will have nothing more against you. Because that's all they can have. That's all they can use against you. There's nothing, absolutely nothing else. And that's very multidimensional. It's doesn't only go for your human self. Doesn't only go for this body. It goes for your being. It goes for a lot more beyond what you can see with your tool, with a pair of eyes. Okay? So if you can do that, then this world will be able to neutralize the darkness. But until then, if all you can do is run into the light, that's only causing more ignorance. More ignorance is building up the other side. The other side is becoming a monster. And that monster will eat you alive. I swear to you. I guarantee this to you. Because this is what's happening. And this is where we are headed. So if you're not willing to face yourself in the totality of yourself, you can call me agnostic, and I will take it as a compliment, because you know what? You know what Gnosticism is? Gnosticism is you practicing, not just believing, but actually practicing the life that is godly. And then, through that, you get to know things. You acquire knowledge. Knowledge is powerful. Belief is empty. Belief, something you have to convince yourself into, trick yourself into, and then when the real things come, boom, the doubts come back. So you can convince yourself, you can try to trick yourself for a while, but when the real things happen in life, you know what I'm talking about. You can't keep tricking yourself, because you know what time it is. And at that moment, you need knowledge to save you. And knowledge comes with experience. And knowledge combined with experience is wisdom. Alright? So that's what you need. You need wisdom in order to be successful in this battle. A bunch of you gathering together, going out in the streets protesting, it's BS. It's not going to get you anywhere, trust me. It's only going to create the other side stronger. They know that. They know you're waking up. They're waiting for you to get out there and start protesting. Because you know what? By you going out there protesting, you are just basically confirming that they have power. So they can use that power. They love to see you out in crowds protesting. Because guess what? They already have weapons. They already have things that can defeat the whole crowd. So what's that protest about anyways? You know what you protest? You protest within yourself. Okay? You protest by strengthening your being, strengthening yourself. That's how you protest. And then they can have as many things as they want out in the world, in their control, the sense of control, and there's nothing they can do because they cannot move you, because you become the rock, the immovable object that nobody can move. And that's what you want, and that's what Jesus was talking about. Being the rock. Wasn't talking about a church. Are you crazy? Being the rock and carrying your own cross. He didn't come here to save the humanity. He didn't come here to pick up the cross and pick up all the sins so that you wouldn't have to, so you could continue to sin. You can continue to do stupid stuff. You can continue to live life against, your true nature, and then be saved just as long as you believe that he was here. See how stupid, how crazy that sounds? That's ridiculous. See, he was explaining things about you doing your part. He was here to show you what to do, to demonstrate. He didn't come here to do it for you. No, he came here and says, I'm the way. Do you know what that means? That his way is the way. That's the bridge. Yes, not him, not his person. Because his person is gone for many, many years already. But the way, the pattern, the guidance is here. That's what was left behind when the person was gone. And you worship the person, you see? That's ludicrous. You have the way, but you're not walking that way. Alright?